Imagine winning the most prestigious golf tournament in the world, slipping on the green jacket at Augusta National, only to be met with boos instead of cheers. Imagine fellow players avoiding eye contact as you celebrate, and fans labeling you the most hated man in golf. That's the reality for Patrick Reed, a Masters champion, a Ryder Cup hero, and one of the most polarizing figures the sport has ever seen. How did Reed go from a childhood prodigy to Captain America, and then to golf's ultimate villain? The scandals, the controversies, the family drama. It's a story unlike any other. And by the end, you might find yourself questioning whether Reed is truly misunderstood, or if he earned every ounce of the hate. Stick around, because one scandal in particular will leave you absolutely speechless. Patrick Nathaniel Reed was born on August 5, 1990, in San Antonio, Texas. Like many future stars, his introduction to the game came early. His father handed him a plastic club, and from that moment on, Patrick's life had a singular focus: golf. By high school in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Reed wasn't just good, he was dominant. He led his team to back-to-back state championships, claimed the Junior Open Championship in 2006, and was named a Rolex AJGA All-American. But along with the trophies came whispers. Reed wasn't just competitive, he was ruthless. Teammates and competitors noticed his swagger, his self-belief that bordered on arrogance. Even as a teenager, Reed carried himself less like a rising star and more like someone who thought he had already arrived. And that reputation would follow him everywhere he went. If you thought high school was dramatic, wait until you hear about what happened in college. Reed began his college golf career at the University of Georgia, one of the top programs in the country. Expectations were sky high, but within a year, Reed was out. Why? Depends on who you ask. Some teammates accused him of cheating during qualifying rounds, even of stealing items from lockers, cash, a watch, small valuables. Others said the issues were alcohol-related violations. Whatever the case, Georgia had seen enough, and Reed was dismissed from the program. For most young athletes, that kind of stain would end a career before it even started. But Reed's story didn't end there. He transferred to Augusta State University and turned his reputation around, at least on paper. Reed became the anchor of the team, leading Augusta State to back-to-back national championships in 2010 and 2011. From outcast to champion, seemingly overnight. But those whispers never really disappeared. To some, Reed was a redemption story. To others, he was still the same arrogant player, just now winning enough to make people overlook it. And if his college controversies weren't enough, the next chapter of his life took things to an entirely different level. A family feud that shocked the golf world. In his early 20s, Reed made a decision that stunned fans and baffled the media. He cut off contact with his parents and his younger sister. To this day, nobody outside the family knows the full details. But what the public did see was brutal. When Reed married his wife, Justine, his family wasn't invited. At the 2014 US Open, his parents and sister showed up with tickets from a friend, only to be escorted off the grounds at Justine's request. Imagine that. You're playing the biggest tournament of your life, and security is removing your parents from the course. Even at Reed's greatest moment, his Masters victory in 2018, his family wasn't there. While the world celebrated, his parents and sister were left outside the gates. Fans were stunned. Many couldn't understand it, and the narrative of Reed as cold, unlikable, and isolated only grew stronger. But despite the personal chaos, Reed's career was on fire. And soon he'd crown himself with a statement that sent the golf world into a frenzy. In 2014, at just 23 years old, Reed won the WGC Cadillac Championship. He was the youngest ever to win a World Golf Championship event. But it wasn't the victory that grabbed headlines. It was what he said after. Looking straight into the camera, Reed declared, "I truly believe I'm one of the top 5 players in the world." The problem? He was ranked 44th at the time. Fans erupted. Some admired the confidence. Most saw it as pure arrogance. The media pounced. Reed didn't just have swagger, he had a chip on his shoulder the size of Augusta National. But here's the thing, he backed it up. More wins, more clutch performances, and most importantly, a stage where he thrived like few others. The Ryder Cup. If you only watched Patrick Reed at the Ryder Cup, you'd think he was one of the most beloved American golfers of all time. He thrived on the energy, the pressure, the chaos. Fans gave him the nickname Captain America. His duel with Rory McIlroy in the 2016 Ryder Cup is the stuff of legend. Reed and McIlroy trading birdies, fist pumps, shushing the crowd. It was raw, electric, unforgettable. Reed won that duel and cemented himself as a Ryder Cup hero. For a moment, the hate faded. Reed wasn't a villain. He was a warrior for his country, fighting for every point. Fans loved him. Teammates relied on him. And when 2018 rolled around, Reed reached the pinnacle of his career, the Masters. April 2018. Patrick Reed holds off Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth to win his first major championship, the Masters. It's the dream every golfer chases. The green jacket, the walk up the 18th fairway, the validation that your career is forever etched in history. For Reed, it should have been the moment that silenced all the critics. For one Sunday in April it was. Fans weren't thinking about his family drama, his cocky comments, or the whispers about his past. They were watching a champion. But golf's memory is short, and Reed's controversies were never far behind. Just months later, Reed would be caught in a scandal that cemented his reputation as golf's ultimate villain, the Hero World Challenge. 2019 cameras caught Reed brushing sand away from behind his ball, not once but twice. It looked bad. Very bad. Reed claimed it was a trick of the camera angle. The officials gave him a 2-stroke penalty. But the fans? Brutal. Analysts like Brandel Chambly called it outright cheating. Fellow pros like Cameron Smith said they had no sympathy for anyone who cheats. Reed wasn't just disliked anymore. He was branded. The Farmers Insurance Open, 2021, Reed claimed his ball was embedded in the rough. He picked it up, took relief, and the officials signed off on it. But TV footage showed the ball had bounced before coming to rest, meaning it likely couldn't have embedded. Again, the rules technically weren't broken, but the optics were terrible. Fans rolled their eyes. Players whispered. Old allegations of dishonesty roared back to life. The $750 million lawsuit, 2022. As if controversies on the course weren't enough, Reed filed a lawsuit against Golf Channel and multiple analysts, seeking $750 million in damages. He claimed they were spreading lies and waging a malicious campaign to ruin his reputation. The golf world was stunned. To most fans, it looked less like justice and more like desperation. Eventually, the lawsuit was dismissed. But the damage to his reputation was permanent. The palm tree incident, 2023 Dubai Desert Classic. Reed hit a wild tee shot into a cluster of palm trees. He insisted he had identified his ball in one particular tree and took a drop beneath it. Video replay suggested otherwise, that the ball likely ended up in a different tree. Officials gave him the benefit of the doubt, but fans exploded with outrage. Another scandal, another Reed moment. By now, every questionable call reinforced the same belief. Patrick Reed wasn't just unlucky, he was a pattern. So, who is Patrick Reed really? On paper, he's an impressive figure, a Masters champion, a Ryder Cup legend, a player with 9 PGA Tour wins and a talent for clutch performances. Few can match his ability to deliver under pressure, but reputation isn't built on stats alone. Reed alienated his family. He fought his peers. He found himself at the center of controversy after controversy. Some say Reed is simply misunderstood, that he plays by the rules but not by golf's unwritten code of honor, that he thrives on being the outsider, the villain, because it fuels his game. Others say that's the problem, that he bends the rules whenever it benefits him, that arrogance has replaced respect, and that once a player is branded a cheater in golf, a sport built on integrity, there's no coming back. Patrick Reed's